All right. Hey guys, I actually just did a Strolling with Harts video. So I think today's going to be 2 episodes that I'm going to end up putting on this blog, on my Tumblr. But I just thought of another thing, and so the last video was kind of for photographers, right? And any model that was watching that doesn't play around photography, which you should. If you're a model, you really should be trying to get into photography because you guys understand it as models. But anyway, so one of the things that I want to do now, I'm going to touch on something that models, because I got these questions in my DM, and when I went to go check out the model's page, there was 2 really bad things about the page on Instagram. One, she did not post where she's from. Are you from New York? Are you from LA? Are you from Florida? There's nothing there that says where you're from. And if a photographer is from a certain area, he just wants to quickly go to your page and see where you're from. If you're not anywhere near him, then it may be a worthless conversation, which has actually happened to me, where I've had a full-blown conversation. The model had paid through PayPal her deposit. Everything went down. And when I gave her the directions of where we were going to meet, she was like, whoa, where are you from? And I was like, New York, because my profile says I'm from New York. And she was like, oh, I'm from Florida. So, I mean, she ended up coming anyway. But just keep in mind that that's something that photographers are looking for. The other thing was, if I don't know you and I haven't worked with you, I'm most likely not going to press follow, okay, if your page is private. And when you have your page private and you have your work on Instagram, how is a photographer supposed to look at it? How is a photographer supposed to know what you look like other than the icon that's this big? Please think about these things, because even though you don't want the creeps, and that's why you have your page private, or you don't want your mom or whatever the situation is. I get this a lot with the parents. Looking at the style of pictures that you do, then please, forget that. Just ignore that, because your business is more important than opinions, right? Am I wrong about that? I mean, I honestly think that you want to succeed. And so I want to put this out there for models, because as much as I thought it was common sense, because I get the question quite a bit, about why I put sometimes, I think it's in my bio, I don't follow private pages. I just don't do it. I don't see the need to press follow just to see your work and then find out that I don't like your look, so I'm gonna unfollow. That's just extra time needed. I can just go to your page and look real quick, and I'm just instantly turned off by that, having to press follow. And you know what? And the crazy thing is, you might be thinking, well, that's just you. I've talked to so many photographers about how much it annoys them, right? Because that's a whole extra step in the conversation. I need you guys to remember one thing. We get hit up a lot by models, tons of them. And taking that extra time to now wait for you to press accept when I press follow, by the time that you accepted that, you might have not seen it until later that night. I'm already on to the next model, right? And you're now way down the line. So those 2 things are tiny little things that I see a lot of problems with. A lot of models mess that up. So don't do it. Don't be one of those, because it's silly. It's silly. If your parents don't accept what you do, create another Instagram page. Don't let them find it. That's another point about, if you're being one of those sneaky models, your family should accept what you do. They should be supportive, and your boyfriend should be supportive, and all of that shit. But if they're not, which I understand, it happens, create another Instagram page. Have another modeling name, which is what I tell you every model to do anyway, because you can separate the 2 lives. You can have a normal life and walk down the street once you reach that fame without someone yelling out your real name and knowing where you live and Googling you and finding all that stuff. All right. So if you're being private for that reason, create another Instagram page. But make sure you go on it. And please do not only put up your work. All right? Your personality, that's why it's called an online personality. You want to have a personality. You want to have people that can instantly just go to your portfolio. Well, your portfolio should only have your work. But I'm saying you should be able to go to your Instagram and see your personality. Right? You may have a great look, but you might be an asshole. Hate to say it like that, but that's the truth. There's a lot of people like that, you know. And if I don't see something that, I mean, this isn't always the case, but a lot of times I'll go to a page and I'll see like a picture about, you know, like something really serious, like religion or something like that, and views on what you do. Like, so I get the views on religion, and how I've seen people say things like, oh, you're stupid if you follow this, or why do you know, Jesus is my Lord and Savior, he's on my team. I love that people are able to have their own religions and able to do what they want, but please don't incorporate it with your if you're trying to be a business, don't incorporate things that are controversial like religion and politics. Don't do it. They could harm you in the long run. But have a personality. Have people be able to relate with you, because the one thing that I try to tell models is you got to remember that even though you don't see it this way, you are on a pedestal. They see people kind of slowly worship with you without noticing. The reason that people follow models is because they're jealous or because they want to be you. So it's one of the two. It's either they're a hater or they really like your work. But if there's something that can't ground you and have them relate with you, then you're losing that connection with your fans, and that's why you need an online presence. Going to a page that instantly says, stop, I need to accept you, that's like, how do I say this? That's like getting asked ID at a movie theater, you know? It always throws you off, like, what? But I'm like 30, you know? And it's just weird. And even though there are some photographers that will push past that and be like, whatever, I'll follow and I'll wait for a response, the busier ones aren't going to do that. So you don't want to lose them because you decided to keep your page private. And then you also don't want to lose the photographers that don't want to hit you up just to ask you where you're from. Have that on your page. Have that information on your page, in your bio. New York City model, Florida model, LA model, traveling model, right? Willing to travel. If you need your expenses paid to travel, have that in your bio. Don't even make it a part of the conversation. It should be the first thing someone sees and goes, okay, I still want to work with her. So just a little bit of advice, all right? I'm about to cross the street. I don't want to die. Hopefully this helps somebody out. Bye. Look both ways when you cross the street.